Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedanta Karwal. Our top story, well, is a big NDTV exclusive on the Chhattisgarh campaign trail. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge's first interview ahead of the crucial assembly polls, and he says the Congress is fighting not just the BJP but also the central agencies. Take a look.
In recent days, sir, when the busy of campaigning, we are seeing enforcement directorate. Now, one is on Bhupesh Baghel. They put a charge against them. In Rajasthan, we are seeing. How do you view this the use of agencies at this particular juncture?
It is very bad. In democracy, such things should not be done. You fight straight away. Give level playing ground. Whosoever gets majority, rule the country properly. There is a good constitution and we all believe in democracy, and wherever you get majority, your governments are there. You got chance to rule in the center, you are ruling. But unfortunately, why you are harassing the people? They are facing the election, you are doing that. You could have done 2 years back, 1 year back, 6 months back. Now only it means the purposely is doing harassing and you are not giving a level playing ground. That's why I can say that the central government or even election commission also should take note of this. They should give chance to opposition also. Everybody obeys only the ruling party, right or wrong. That is not good. And of course we are fighting, we will fight. And we will see that whatever they do, we have to fight. If Congress got only one candidate, they have got 4 candidates. Their own BJP candidate, then again the ED one candidate, then CBI one candidate, then income tax another candidate. So the candidate of Congress party has to defeat 4 candidates, not one. Therefore, they are trying to terrorize, they are trying to demoralize our workers. But our workers will not afraid of that. तो हम तो डरने वाले नहीं हैं. डरे तो पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं आते. तो डर के मरने से बेहतर है कि लड़ के मरना. That will do this.
So Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge no holds barred there. But moving now to our special survey in poll-bound Rajasthan, where 27% people, part of the NDTV CSDS Lokniti survey for a pre-poll opinion poll, in fact, say that they prefer incumbent Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot as the next Chief Minister of Rajasthan. But is this approval rating enough for one of the tallest leaders of the Congress? Take a look.
The question is, who should be Rajasthan's Chief Minister? This is a biggie. 27% of people polled say Ashok Gehlot, 14% say Vasundhara Raje, 9% say Sachin Pilot, 6% say Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. Anyone from the Congress? If there's a name that's unclear, 8%. Anyone from the BJP? 15%. Others, 5%. Who should the BJP's chief ministerial face be? That's the next question. Vasundhara Raje, 27%. Baba Balaknath at 13%. Gajendra Singh Shekhawat at 6%. CP Joshi at about 3%. Who should be the Congress's chief ministerial face? That's the next question. 39% said Ashok Gehlot. Sachin Pilot at 20%. So the gap, 19% between them, clearly shows who is more popular. Govind Singh Dotsara at 3% and Dr. CP Joshi at 3%. The Modi versus Gehlot factor, Modi clearly the largest leader for the BJP across the country, every single state election. What matters more to the voter? So 32% say no, in fact, it's all very well as far as Modi is concerned, but as far as they are concerned in Rajasthan, 32% would pick Ashok Gehlot. 37% would say no, the Modi factor does matter more. 20% say both in fact matter equally. Party versus candidate, what matters more? What is absolutely key? 31% of those polled say the party matters most, narrowly at number 2, candidates. Right? So 30% of people say that the candidate matters most, 13% say the chief ministerial candidate matters most, 13% say that it's Narendra Modi who matters most, and 3% say it's Rahul Gandhi. So if we are speaking briefly about Rahul Gandhi, has Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra benefited the Congress? 28% say yes, but significantly 36% say no. So has that run out of steam is the question. And let me put that straight across to the Congress party and Rohan Gupta. Rohan, 26%, I should say 28% say that Bharat Jodo has benefited the Congress, but a significant 36% say it hasn't. Rahul Gandhi, the dominant face of the Congress party in Rajasthan, is the RG factor not working for you?
So Vishnu, when the results will come for all these 5 states, we'll realize what is going
no,
to
that
be
is the generic statement of all political parties. Rohan, break it up for us. We've asked people, they say that Bharat Jodo has not really benefited you.
That's what I'm saying. When the results will come out, we will see whether it is Telangana, whether it is Rajasthan, whether it is Madhya Pradesh, everywhere Bharat Jodo has ensured that the cadre of Congress parties united and rejuvenated, and that is what the impact we are going to see in results. And apart from that, the kind of parameters what you have shown in numbers, I am 100% confident the way government has performed and delivered. BJP doesn't have the face. The state leadership, when you talk about Vasundhara Raje, the way we see that the way the central leadership of BJP, they cut the wings of state leadership, and that has been the BJP philosophy for last 5 years.
Rohan, 37% would pick Narendra Modi and vote in his name ahead of Ashok Gehlot at 32%.
See, Narendra Modi is not CM candidate, right? That the same thing happened
They
in
would
Karnataka.
vote for the BJP in his name.
No. Vishnu, that's what I'm saying. If you see Karnataka, all the polls, when the poll results were there, it was showing, okay, Modi matters and all. What happened? Because at the end of the day, people realize that these are state elections.
Okay.
And they are voting for CM and not PM. Mr. Modi cannot be CM for 28 states.
Okay,
so
but we'll see what factor he has. I want to quickly go across.
Give me 1 minute. Give me 30 seconds. I'll just complete this statement. Give me 30 seconds. See, the issue with BJP is the way they are weakening their state leadership. Whether you see Karnataka, whether you see Himachal, I think that is where Congress is gaining, because we are fighting elections in name of state leadership.
Okay, all right, okay. I've got more numbers also. Charu, quick reaction from you. And I also want to ask you about Vasundhara Raje. It seems she is very much the dominant leader in Rajasthan. There were problems with her within your party, all sorts of battles, a great deal of indecision, some would say. But is that over now?
Can I just go back to your previous segment and make a statement? See, BJP has always been in governance with the motto of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, not dividing up people in the name of caste and religion. And that remains very important. Now, work which is done by the central government also impacts and gives us a lot of credibility in any state election. So simple things like providing food grain, getting water from a tap in your own house, the Jal Jeevan mission, the toilets that were made, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana homes, all of these continue to be policies of the government to help the poor people come up to a higher and a better level of living. And I think we are still reaping the benefits of a good vision that Modi ji set at the onset of his leadership for the country.
So, well, in a state that sees revolving door politics, can the Congress return to power? But moving now to our other big focus on NDTV, the toxic air alert in parts of North India. And in Delhi, it's a public health emergency with the now annual air quality crisis kicking in this year, much ahead of the usual peak pollution season. Well, what Delhi is breathing is essentially a cocktail of poisons, toxic gases, even metals in the air, and the PM 2.5 micropollutant that actually penetrates your lungs and causes long-term respiratory illnesses and also cancer. It can affect your lungs, your kidney, even your brain. In fact, now studies say that it has a link to cognitive development as well, and the children and our elderly in the national capital back to breathing poison and are right to clean air violated again. In fact, that graph actually shows you what you're breathing. You're right now breathing almost 40 cigarettes a day or puffing 40 cigarettes a day unknowingly because the PM 2.5 levels are 70 times the safe limit set by the World Health Organization. But what about the government's measures? Crores have been spent over the years, including in smog towers, anti-smog guns, but nothing really has worked out. Where has all this money gone? Take a look at this report. Believe it or not, this isn't a gas chamber. This is Delhi's Anand Vihar, one of the capital's busiest, most crowded and most polluted areas. Year after year, the air here turns poisonous in peak pollution season. But this year, the air quality has spiked to emergency levels even before Diwali. And the reason is this, a visible failure of the government's efforts. This smog tower, now covered in haze, has failed to clear the air even 5 years after it was built. This is among the 2 smog towers in Delhi, built at a staggering cost of nearly 30 crore rupees each, even though experts have said they are useless.
We just saw the recent disaster of the smog tower, this has been a failure.
A major chunk of the Delhi government's anti-pollution budget, nearly 75%, goes into corrective measures like anti-smog guns and water sprinklers rather than curbing the sources of pollution.
Larger actions that need to be taken over several years, including addressing sources like industrial pollution, addressing transport-related sources, and addressing significant dust control measures that need to be implemented over time.
The AAP governments in both Delhi and Punjab have also failed to put out farm fires, one of the most visible causes of North India's toxic air. Starting last year, the government has spent almost 70 lakh rupees each year on biodecomposers for farmers to sprinkle on standing paddy, instead of burning the stubble to clear their farms. In fact, 20 crore rupees was used just to advertise the project. But farmers are reluctant to switch to this technology, which they say delays the cultivation of rabi crops like wheat, which need to be sown in winter. What they want are affordable crushing machines and funds for crops other than paddy.
ਸਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਣਵਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਕੱਢੇ ਇਹਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਲਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਕੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ
Over the years, the government has spent a huge sum of money on solutions that have failed and sadly will never work because sources of pollution remain intact. While the Delhi government says the centre needs to bring state governments together, the centre says the onus is on the AAP governments in Delhi and Punjab. But even as the political blame game continues, Delhi's vulnerable suffer. With lives at stake, the government must realize this is a public health emergency that needs round-the-year attention and not right in the middle of the now annual air quality crisis. Vedant Agarwal for NDTV.
दिल्ली के चारों तरफ, एक तरफ उत्तर प्रदेश में भाजपा की सरकार है, दूसरी तरफ हरियाणा में भाजपा की सरकार है, केंद्र में भाजपा की सरकार है। तो हमने निवेदन किया है कि सभी लोगों से बात करके सबके सहयोग से मिल करके इस पर काम किया जाए। तो आज इन बिंदुओं पर हमने चर्चा की है। खास तौर से हमने निवेदन किया है कि इसके लिए सभी अधिकारियों को निर्देश जारी किया जाए कि वो सभी अधिकारी सरकार के साथ बाइकाट न करें, सभी अधिकारी मिल करके काम करें, क्योंकि इस तरह की बात आ रही है कि केंद्र सरकार के कहने पर कानून आया और कानून के बाद से केंद्र सरकार के इशारे पर ये सभी अधिकारी निष्क्रिय हो रहे हैं। अगर निष्क्रिय होंगे तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एक चैलेंज है। आज हमने निवेदन किया है कि इसको आप सीरियसली लें और सबको डायरेक्शन दें कि वो सक्रिय हों।
So, well, that blame game continues and we talk of fixing accountability, but where does the buck really stop? But moving now to what is now becoming a huge political controversy. Well, the Enforcement Directorate now is probing a new angle as far as the Mahadev betting app case is concerned. Well, the Enforcement Directorate says that it's now probing the allegation or the claim that the promoters of this Mahadev app, this particular app, actually paid nearly 500 crores to Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, and the Enforcement Directorate says that an arrested man actually talked about paying this money, or the promoters paying this money to the Chief Minister during the course of the questioning. Bhupesh Baghel has said that these allegations are baseless and the agencies are acting at the behest of the government.
इससे बड़ा मजाक और क्या हो सकता है कि आप किसी सूबे के मुख्यमंत्री पे किसी आदमी से मार पीट के या दबाव डाल के बुलवा दो, मैं किसी को पकड़ लूं और बोल दूंगा यदि प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लेने के लिए तो क्या प्रधानमंत्री से पूछताछ करेंगे? मतलब किसी की इज्जत उछालना बहुत आसान हो गया है।
Well, politics speaking, and it's raid season as well because elections are now just weeks away. But moving now to the huge controversy here in Delhi NCR. Well, in Noida, police cracked down on rave parties, and now Big Boss winner Elvish Yadav has been named in an FIR after 9 snakes and snake venom was actually recovered during the raids. Elvish Yadav has released a video statement as well. He says that the allegations against him are baseless. In fact, these are the visuals of him with those snakes, which is why this entire controversy actually resurfaced, and now he has been named in an FIR. We'll take a short break now. There's more news on the other side. Welcome back. Let's get to the latest on the Israel-Hamas war. Well, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel, and he made some significant points. He said that we need to continue to do more for Palestinian civilians. He also said that Israel and US are making efforts to get aid into Gaza. In fact, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear now that there will be no ceasefire till the time Hamas releases hostages.
I spoke to Israeli leaders about tangible steps that can be taken to increase the sustained delivery of food, water, medicine, fuel, and other essential needs, while putting in place measures to prevent diversion by Hamas and other terrorist groups. We've identified mechanisms to enable fuel to reach hospitals and other needs in the south. Israel has raised appropriate concerns that we share, about Hamas's hoarding and siphoning of fuel in northern Gaza. Again, its cynicism knows no bounds.
And well, what do you actually do when you can't travel the world and you have empty pages on your passport? Well, this video is surfacing online from Kerala, where a man actually converted the empty pages of his passport to a telephone directory. Take a look at this. So the great Indian jugaad on display there. That's all that we have on this bulletin from all of us here.